Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Cool, Calm, Connected podcast, a quarterback's guide to life and peak performance, where we learn how to become the best version of ourselves together. I'm your host, James Brady, and you're listening to episode 1, Getting Started. The way I'd like to start off every single episode is first by taking a deep breath together. Let's get our feet planted in the ground, wherever we're seated, get our spine straight, shoulders back, all in an attempt to be a little bit more present, a little bit more focused, a little bit more relaxed, a little more here now. Because quite frankly, I'm going to be sharing some good stuff. And the more present and focused we are, the better we can absorb this information, apply it to our lives, and work to become a better version of ourselves. So feet planted, shoulders down and back, spine straight. It's going to be a deep breath in through the nose and a nice smooth exhale through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, the next thing I'd like to do for every episode is take a moment to drop into gratitude together. I believe that gratitude, expressing gratitude in any capacity, is like our magic wand. It is quite literally a superpower. If we can be grateful for whatever is on our plate, the good, the bad, indifferent, we can begin to see things in a positive light and use them to our advantage. So my gratitude mantra that I repeat often throughout the day goes like this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so, so grateful. I am so, so, so appreciative. So if you repeat after me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so, so grateful. I am so, so, so appreciative. I am incredibly grateful for each and every one of you that is here listening, taking the time out of your day to hear what I have to say, and be here part of the journey, especially episode 1, just getting things going. So I'm incredibly grateful for you all, each and every one of you who entrusts in what we do in our quarterback development operation and everything we do in the Cool, Calm, Connected community. It is my life's work, and it means the world to me to see things that I know have helped me so tremendously in my life be taken seriously and applied into other people's lives. So thank you for the opportunity to share what I've come to learn and know with you. I'll start today's episode by explaining a little bit about what Cool, Calm, Connected is. Cool, Calm, Connected is a passion project that I have been developing, quite frankly, over the last 2 or 3 years. It's been a work in the making, to say the least. It is a combination of everything I've come to learn, all my passions, all my curiosities in psychology, spirituality, mindfulness, meditation, personal development, philosophy, any kind of development, any and everything that I've found can support us in our journeys to become the best version of ourselves and be the best version of ourselves. I've encapsulated into this little phrase, cool, calm, connected. The reason I came up with the name Cool, Calm, Connected is because by trade, I run a quarterback training business. And if you're ever watching a football game, quite frequently you'll hear the commentators talking about the quarterback as being cool, calm, and collected, embodying this essence of being poised, relaxed, under control, unfazed. And Cool, Calm, Connected at its core is all about being present, focused, confident, and relaxed. It is the embodiment of the way our minds think, the way we feel, the way we function and operate on a day-to-day basis. Now, the reason I changed collected to connected is because, in all honesty, I believe in today's society we are more disconnected than ever. We are disconnected from ourselves, our true selves, our highest selves. We are more disconnected from each other, even with the internet and social media, where we can connect electronically. People have a tough time looking people in the eyes and having a genuine conversation. We are more disconnected from nature. We are disconnected from anything and everything we can be connected to. And I genuinely believe the better we are and the more we're able to connect to ourselves, our highest self that knows what is best for us, the fullest, most authentic expression of who we are, the more we can connect to that, the more we can connect to Source, to God, to the universe, to infinite wisdom, the better we can be and the better we can live our lives. So cool, calm, connected is kind of a play on words of a phrase that's used to describe quarterbacks quite frequently. And that also embodies this way of living, this way of thinking, this way of speaking and behaving and going about our day-to-day lives, where we are present, we are focused, we are confident, we are relaxed, we're fully immersed in the task at hand, being wherever we are, doing whatever we're doing, with whoever we're doing it with. So cool, calm, connected. Connected to ourselves, connected to Source, God, the universe, infinite wisdom, connected to each other, supporting one another, challenging each other, to keep growing, to keep evolving, to keep finding ways to improve, to better ourselves, to be better on the field, and enjoy our lives more, and connecting to nature. The trees, the grass, the water, the sunshine, all quite literally give us life. They are all sources of energy. We provide energy for them, they provide energy for us, and the more we can connect to nature, the more healthy, vibrant, energetic, and happy we're going to be. And the project in its entirety has a few branches to it, one of them being this podcast, the Cool, Calm, Connected podcast. But the roots of it are really grounded in an online course and community that will be released sometime this winter. And the idea behind that course is to teach and learn anyone who's interested in bettering themselves and mastering their craft in any field how to become the best version of themselves and live a high flow lifestyle. Everything is really centered around what we call flow state. Now, flow state is defined by being completely present, focused, confident, and relaxed, fully immersed in the task at hand when we feel our best and perform our best. A lot of people might have experienced it, and you might know it a little bit more as being in the zone. It's when time slows down, there's no thinking, no worries, no doubts, no fears. You're completely relaxed, confident, trusting yourself. Things start to move in slow motion. And from my experience and everything that I've learned and from all the people I've worked with, anyone who has experienced it, more often than not, it happens randomly, sporadically. And it's a state that, quite frankly, anyone who has experienced it wishes they could access more often. And that's what the online course is centered around, creating a high flow lifestyle, learning how to prepare for, recover from, and access flow regularly and consistently, not just on the field, in particular on the field to help us to perform to the best of our ability, but in every walk of our life, in math class, sitting down to do work at your desk, working on projects, in conversation with a friend. Flow state is there for us every moment of every day. It's a form of consciousness, a way our brain is functioning. And really what I've found above all else, the primary ingredient is learning how to be present, to be here now. And that's what the entire project embodies and encapsulates, is learning how to create a high flow lifestyle, be fully present, focused, confident, relaxed, fully immersed in the task at hand, and work to become the best version of yourself. So if that is something that you're interested in, you're most certainly in the right place. So we have this podcast. We have the online course where everything is grounded and rooted in. We also have a lifestyle clothing brand, our first product, a hat, a cool, calm, connected hat with Here Now on the side, will be available soon, pre-sale. And then we have all social media content, any way you can think of getting information out to people these days. There is a branch of Cool, Calm, Connected for it. And the reason being is because I know how powerful it is. I know what human beings are capable of when we learn how to be present, when we learn how to direct our focus and our attention to the task at hand. When we learn how to access flow state regularly and consistently, we quite literally can turn ourselves into superhumans. So I'm thinking of every way possible to get this message out to as many people as possible, to make as big of an impact as possible. Because I know what it's done for me. I know it's done for so many others and the quarterbacks that we work with. And quite frankly, I know that it allows us to live a happier, healthier, more vibrant, energetic, joyful life and existence. Yes, we will play better, but more than anything, this is about the life that we lead. This is about the way we experience our day to day. And in my opinion, there's a lot of room for growth there. It is quite literally a miracle that we are alive, that we are here. And to see so many people struggling with mental health issues, stress and anxiety and depression, especially young people these days, it's on my heart to share this work, because I know that these are the answers. These are things that I know work because they've worked for me. So what to expect with the podcast? Full transparency and honesty, I am going with the flow. This episode is called Getting Started, and I'll be sharing some lessons and teaching points on the best ways to get started on anything. And one of the things I experienced in just creating this project is like a bit of perfectionism, wanting to make sure everything was perfect and right and there was a system in place. And what I've experienced to some degree is kind of paralysis by analysis, really overthinking so many things, not just taking action, getting started and doing it. And because of that, there is no predetermined set plan in place. How many episodes per week, how long each episode will be. What I can guarantee, right now there'll be one episode a week, bare minimum. Some episodes may be an hour long. Some episodes may be 4 minutes long. What I am trusting in is kind of divine guidance from source, where it all comes from, to say what needs to be said when it needs to be said, and trust that it's right in the moment. So that's how I'm operating. That's how we're going to be functioning with the podcast. Might be some long form, might be some short form, and everything in between. A lot of times it'll be just me, kind of like a solo cast. I already have some people that have reached out that are interested in jumping on with me. So there'll be some more traditional podcast style interviews. If it's beneficial to the collective, I'm down to do it. So that's kind of what to expect. Bare minimum one episode per week, and we're going to go with the flow. So this episode is titled Getting Started. Titling each episode is something that I played around with. How do I want to create each episode? And at first I had entire scripts written out, and then I was reading and it just didn't sound like me. There was no energy, there was no life to it. So I was like, okay, that's not it. I figured out what I wanted by trying what I came to learn I didn't want, what didn't work. And what I've found works best for me in the moment is this approach of what I like to call riffing. So anyone who follows me on social media, especially on my stories, you might see be familiar with a black screen and white writing with the ... at the end. And I've been doing that for years. And the style and approach I've landed on, which really works best for me, is having the centering thought. A lot of them are going to come right off the stories. These fundamental and basic ideas, these little thoughts that are my centering thought. They're the theme or kind of the centering message for the episode that I have tons of insight and information and knowledge on. I have that centering thought, a couple notes written down, and then I just riff. I know the points I want to hit, and then I just let loose like I am right now. So each episode will be titled, so you have an idea of kind of what will be talked about and what we'll be sharing and learning about. And then I'll be kind of going off the dome, sharing what's on my mind, what I know about that particular thing, that each and every single one of them that goes into helping us be a better version of us in so many different capacities. So today's episode is titled Getting Started. because it's our first episode, right? It's the first podcast episode. I'm just getting it started. And a lot of these lessons I'm about to share with you, some I learned by creating this entire project. I came across the information, found answers. I struggled with a problem, found an answer. And now it's part of what I can teach people, which is pretty cool. So each episode is titled, Today's Getting Started. And this is about any time we're working to start something new, create a new habit, work on a new skill set, try a new hobby or craft. These are lessons I've found that apply directly to any time we are starting anything new, when we are getting started. And the first thing I've come to learn is that we cannot rely on motivation. Motivation is an emotion. And what I always like to say is that emotions are energy in motion, emotion. They are in motion. They are temporary. They are fleeting. And motivation in particular comes and goes. It is not going to be there for us every single day. And having worked with thousands of athletes over the last 15 years, it's obvious to me a lot of people, especially young people, rely on motivation to take action. Now, it's a good thing that when you feel motivated, you use that energy and take action. But then what I've noticed is that when the motivation isn't there, the action isn't either. So the work, the effort just isn't getting done because the athletes don't feel motivated. So what I'd like us to learn now is that motivation is fleeting. We cannot rely on it. But what's very interesting is that action in and of itself breeds motivation. There are going to be days when we just don't want to. We don't feel like it. We know there is something that we should be doing, but for whatever reason, we're just not feeling it, right? The best thing we can do in those days is take the first step. Get up, get out of bed, get dressed, put your cleats on. Action in and of itself breeds motivation. So by taking action, you're sending the signal to your brain and your body that regardless of how you feel, you're going to do what needs to be done anyway. And then guess how that makes you feel? It makes you feel motivated to keep going and keep doing the work. So first lesson, anytime we're starting anything new, really anytime we're doing any type of work, we cannot rely on motivation. Take action. Action breeds motivation. When you're not feeling it, get up, do something, and you'll start to feel that energy flow and that motivation arise and help you keep going to do the work. Next, and what I think might be the most important lesson when we are starting anything new, especially when we're working to create a new habit, we're talking about a lifestyle here. Cool, Calm, Connected is a lifestyle. It's a way of being. It's a way of existing. It's a way of operating in our day-to-day. When we're working to change an aspect of who we are and how we function, it takes a massive amount of energy to do so. If you think of it, right? A lot of us say we've been alive for 18 years, and we've been doing this one thing this way for 18 years. That's 18 years of reps built on top of each other, forming itself into a way that you think and a way that you behave that we are trying to change now. So I think is very important for us right now to really hone in and grasp is that when we're working to make lifestyle changes, creating new habits, the ultimate objective is to make it sustainable, to be able to do it over an extended period of time. Because this is kind of the way it works. First, we take action and we practice. That practice, if done consistently over time, will eventually become a habit. And if we keep putting that habit into action consistently over time, that eventually becomes a skill set, a skill that we have that we can use. And when we practice using that skill consistently over an extended period of time, it will eventually become a character trait, just part of who we are, how we think, how we speak, how we behave, the effort that we give, all of the above. But it starts with a simple practice. You can't just change who you are in the blink of an eye like that. It takes time. So with that in mind, the best way to create that change over time is to start small. Start very, 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 very small. We want to make the new action we are taking, easy to do. Because if it's easy to do, then we'll actually do it, right? It is human nature, and I used to be, not anymore. I used to be a perfect example of someone who would do this. I'd get an idea of something I wanted to try, something I want to do, a new skill I wanted to develop, a new hobby I wanted to take part in, and I would go balls to the wall, pedal to the metal, 0 to 100 like that. And what winds up happening is you try to do too much too soon. It's too hard, right? Let's say you want to start a new lifting routine in the gym. You've never gone to the gym before. You want to start lifting and exercising. Going balls to the wall too much too soon will look a little something like this. Okay, I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week, before school, after school, 2 hours each time I'm there. In theory, if you were able to do that, yeah, that would be helpful. The more you're there, the better work you can do and the more progress you can make. But if you've never done it before, how long do you think that's going to last? Maybe you do it the first day. You get up 2 hours earlier than you're used to getting up. You go to the gym in the morning. You're not accustomed to it, so now you're tired all day long. And then you actually get the energy to get yourself to go after school again. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, your body is shot. You are exhausted. Let's say you even get yourself to do it the second day. What are the odds you're going to do it again on the third and the fourth and the fifth day? It's just too much too soon. It's not sustainable. Now, you start telling yourself, say you do day 1, you do day 2, and then you skip day 3. You're just too exhausted. Now we're wiring our brain to our old patterns of, I can't do what I say I'm going to do. I knew I couldn't keep up with it. I can't create new habits. I'm no good at this. Simply because we made it too hard on ourselves to do in the first place. And I have a little story on this, and this is a true story, and it's interesting. About a year or two after I graduated from college and I was done playing football, there was a period of time there where, quite frankly, I was not taking very good care of myself. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't eating well. I wasn't sleeping well. And I was a teacher at the time and a football coach and building our quarterback development operation. And I just started doing hot yoga, which I fell in love with. And I had a pretty good rhythm going a couple times a week. And then a friend of mine mentioned that he started doing CrossFit and that there was a cool place right around the corner from my house that I should try out. So I hear CrossFit, and I get it in my head. I'm going to do hot yoga in the morning before school, and I'm going to do CrossFit in the evening after school and practice. I did it for 2 days. It's a true story. I did it Monday and Tuesday. And here's literally what happened. Wednesday morning, I sleep through my alarm. Now, I'm a teacher, a high school health teacher, and I'm supposed to be there at 7 a.m. As I open my eyes, I can't straighten out my arms. My arms are locked, like frozen, because I just destroyed my muscles from doing too much activity too soon, going pedal to the metal, too hard, too fast. My alarm is going off. I look at my phone, and it's like 10:30 a.m., and I have all these phone calls and text messages from the principal and teachers and friends in the school, and just trying to make sure I'm okay. I just called them, told them the truth, what happened. And needless to say, that was not a good situation. I did too much too soon and destroyed my body. Now, I wasn't able to fulfill my responsibilities, and guess how many times I did CrossFit ever again in my entire life? 0. I never went back. It took me over a week to have no pain in my biceps because I completely destroyed them doing too much too soon. In the long run, would CrossFit have been good for me? Probably. But because I went too hard too soon, doing hot yoga in the morning, CrossFit at night, I missed out on opportunities to grow over the long haul and change who I am over an extended period of time because I did too much too soon. So, second lesson, start small, make it sustainable. Make it easy to practice consistently. Because here's another way that it works. Is about confidence and belief and developing ourselves. And to develop ourselves, we have to develop what we think and feel about ourselves. And what we think about ourselves is of the essence. So if we tell ourselves we're going to do something, and then we don't do it, we don't follow through, we don't take action on what we said we were going to do, that's the number one way to destroy your confidence. Hands down. By not following through and not doing what you say you're going to do. You are rewiring the pattern in your brain that you are not capable of doing what you say you're going to do. So you do not have belief in yourself to take action on what needs to get done. You don't believe you have the capacity to do the work and accomplish a task. On the flip side, why we want to start small. When we tell ourselves we're going to do something and we do it, we complete it, it releases dopamine in our brains, our feel-good chemical in our brain. That's like a reward system that makes us want to keep doing something. So if we say we're going to do something, when we do it, that releases dopamine and it gives us the motivation and the energy to do it again, keep moving forward. So let's use a meditation practice, for example. If you've never meditated before and you want to start a meditation practice and you say, okay, I'm going to sit down for 30 minutes every morning, I'm going to meditate. It's going to be very, 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 very hard. You do it the first day, do it the second day. Chances are you're creating too much resistance around that practice to do it again. It's too hard because you haven't practiced. If you are interested in developing a meditation practice, which is something that is a huge part of Cool Calm Connected, start with 30 seconds. 30 seconds once a week. That's the only objective. I'm going to do it once for 30 seconds, once this week. So now you sit down and you set a timer for 30 seconds and you do your meditation practice. Once that timer goes off, you're going to feel good about yourself that you actually did it. And even though you didn't tell yourself you're going to do it again during the week, chances are you actually will because you accomplished it. You feel good about it. You believe that you can get that task done. So you're going to feel more motivated and inspired to keep doing it moving forward. We want sustainability. We want longevity. We want lifestyle and habit changes to change who we are over an extended period of time. So lesson 2, start small, make it easy to do, make it sustainable so that you can practice and do it consistently over an extended period of time. And the third lesson I'd like to share when starting anything new is something I believe doesn't get talked about a lot in this personal development space, which is what do we do when we do mess up? How do I handle that? Because quite frankly, along the way, somewhere, you're going to miss a day. You're not going to do what you said you're going to do. So we want to have some knowledge, some tools, and some skill sets in place beforehand to equip us with the ability to continue to moving forward positively, even when we do mess up. Because we are human. We are not going to be perfect. No one expects you to be perfect. And as I said earlier, what tends to happen is we say we're going to do something, eventually we skip a day, we don't do it, and that turns into another missed day and another missed day because we're falling back into those old patterns that we are working hard to change. So there's a phrase that I love. When we do mess up, the objective becomes don't let the slips become slides. You're going to mess up, and that's okay. You're going to miss a day. There's going to be times you don't do what you say you're going to do. You're going to slip. So when we do slip, the objective now is to not let the slip become a slide. Not let one day turn into 2, 3, 4 days, an entire week of missing the habit and the action that we said we were going to do. So first, the objective is to not let the slips become slides. And here's how I suggest we do that. From my experience, what I've found is that it's not the action in and of itself that's so challenging. It's the thought patterns and the feelings that we have about ourselves, that we've conditioned ourselves to become this way over time, our entire lives, so that when we don't do what we say we're going to do, guilt and shame arises. We feel guilty. We feel ashamed of ourselves that we didn't do what we said we were going to do. And from my experience, as well as many others that I've spoken to, most often it is the guilt and the shame we carry around not doing what we say we're going to do in the past. We carry that into the present, and that paralyzes us from continuing to move forward into the future. We let the slips become slides. So when we don't do what we say we're going to do, when we slip, simply notice any of those feelings or guilt or shame arising and let them pass by. Don't attach to them. Don't feed that energy. Remind yourself that every moment of every day is an opportunity to start anew if you need to. Give yourself a little bit of grace. You're trying your best. You're giving it everything you got, and you messed up a little bit. Don't sweat it. Let it go. And just decide to start over again the next day. It's that simple. Let's not allow the guilt and shame we carry around not doing what we say we were going to do in the past paralyze us in the future from continuing to move forward in the present, become who we want to be, do what we want to do, live how we want to live, and achieve what we want to achieve. If you mess up, let it go. Don't let the slips become slides. Every moment of every day is an opportunity to start anew if you need to. And on top of that now, don't get complacent, right? We have this tool in place if we do slip up. It can also be very easy if you do slip up. Keep saying, oh, it's okay, I can start again. It's okay, I can start again. Oh, it's okay, I can start again. Well, that's not going to help either. Allow it to be a tool that's utilized minimally. It's like one of those things in a video game. It's like a lifeline that you only get one of them, right? Let's keep those lifelines to a minimum, not get complacent in messing up and just saying, it's okay, I'll start over again the next time. Use them wisely and use them intentionally for when you do slip up so you don't let the slips become slides. So that is the conclusion of episode 1, getting started, getting you guys accustomed to what this is, why I'm doing it, why we are doing it, what's being shared, what to expect, what Cool Calm Connected is all about, and a few lessons and insights on getting anything new started, a new habit, a new routine, a new skill set, a project, a hobby, a new sport, whatever it is, whatever endeavor we're attacking. These are things that I know for sure will directly apply, not relying on motivation. Take action. Action breeds motivation. Start small to make it sustainable over an extended period of time so you can turn a practice into a habit into a skill set, and a skill set into a character trait. And when we do slip up, don't let the slips become slides. Every moment of every day is an opportunity to start anew if you need to. I hope from the bottom of my heart that even just one little thing shared, one little golden nugget was beneficial to you today from listening to this podcast. Again, I cannot be more grateful for all of you listening. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I believe this project, Cool Calm Connected, is going to make a massive impact to empower individuals across the entire world to learn how to do the work to become a better version of themselves. And every individual that does the work to better themselves is quite literally impacting their surroundings for the better. As we say, because of the jerseys we wear, we have the opportunity and responsibility to change our little section of the world. Be the best you, not just for the betterment of yourself, but for the betterment of everyone else around you. When you work to better yourself, simply by taking that action, that energy that you carry, you are positively impacting everyone around you in your sphere. And if we are all doing that, collectively, we are quite literally changing the world for the better. So because of that, I'm asking for your help to make as much of an impact as we can with what's being shared here with this project. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe, comment, hit the like button, That's all going to help the algorithm and get this podcast and this content in front of more people's eyes. And the only objective is to be of service and to help more people live happy, healthy, vibrant, energetic lives so that they can enjoy their lives to the fullest, give themselves the best chance to accomplish their goals, and live a purposeful, meaningful life. So like, share, subscribe, all the above, all the things that come along with podcasts on all platforms. Will be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all the places you can find your podcasts. On social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. If you see it, please engage with it. The more you engage with it, the more people get to see it. The more people get to see it, the more people will be served. And the more people we can serve, the more impact we can make on the world around us. So thank you all for listening. Grateful for this opportunity. Grateful to get this project started and share all things Cool, Calm, Connected moving forward in the future. Thank you again, guys. Peace and love, everybody. Be kind to one another.